Then I think it's time to go to our guest, Dr. Musa and 𝐒𝐤𝐡. They will tell you everything about the CMA course offered at the Berkeley School of Management, and they will advise you what kind of things you need to prepare for the exams, tips and tricks, and how they can prepare you to pass these exams successfully. So welcome, Dr. Musa and 𝐒𝐤𝐡. Nice having you here in this info session. The floor is all yours.
Thank you very much for the lovely introduction and a great opening. We are going to start our part of the discussion, which is giving more insight about the program. So I would like to share a few slides with the audience. I'm sure that now they can see the screen, if you can confirm me.
Yes, we can see it.
That's great. So a couple of things I will go through. Of course, Berkeley School of Management and Sciences is an old name in giving education for CMA program. And since it used to be a 4-part program, and then it evolved around 2009 and 10 in 2 parts. So we have huge expertise and thousands of students across the globe who is actually doing and has done their CMAs. So as you already introduced, it's an American certification, and IMA is the world leading association, and that's what is actually unique and true. For our discussion today, what I'm going to focus is that what is CMA program look like, what are the study options Berkeley offer, what is the course structure, and how Berkeley make it unique for the students in terms of understanding and passing the exam at most the first time. And of course, we have thousands of testimonials, which I am going to share with you. So if you see, the program structure is quite unique and very, very dynamic. We have 2 parts. One is the financial planning, performance, and control. The other is strategic financial management. If you see here, I would compare, because we are in UK. So in UK, we have a management accountancy qualification, which has 16 subjects. So if you are really a senior top management, middle management, where you are stuck in your office works and you have no time to study along with your family, I feel that here I like IMA, CMA very much, because it's very handy. It is comprehensive. It has 2 parts, so I can prioritize my time management accordingly, and I can manage in comparison with 2 papers with 16 exams. It's really a handy and nice option. And top of it, it's a global qualification from America, so it's all over the world is recognized. I love the program structure. I'm going to show you, and we will discuss a bit of it so you can feel that how well structured and organized it is. And if you are going to take up this, course, how it is going to build your skills and competencies in your professional career, and it is going to develop your personality in terms of thinking broad and doing management accounting. So recently we saw the new I guess 3 years before, the external financial reporting decisions. Previously, management accountants were more into internal management reporting, and the financial accountant is more into external accounting standard, US GAAP. But now the time has come where US GAAP also focusing on making financial standards in a very, very easy way. So if you're a doctor, you are an engineer, you are a scientist, and you have your own business, and you want to optimize your return on investments, you want to see a better profit. So it's very, very important that you should know what are the financial statement and a set of financial statements, so at least you can read and understand from the top. So I guess that's the beauty of the course, that it starts right off a need of a management accountant, a businessman, or a large or small entities who want to see what are their profitabilities, liquidity, solvency, and how their financial outlook in at least 2 years. So it starts with external financial reporting, where you will be having a deep knowledge of statement of financial position, cash flows. You are going to know about several things in terms of accrual accounting, basic accounting principles. Then you will discuss the liability side of the balance sheet, current assets, non-current assets, and the topics like impairment, depreciation. You can say there are topics like goodwill, amortization, deferred taxation, contingent liabilities, warranties, treatment of accounting revenues. This all is an amazing portion which covers an external financial reporting decision. So almost you are going to touch the most important topics from a CFO point of view or from a CEO point of view. It's going to be an amazing journey in terms of external financial reporting decision. And you can see that these are 15% of the exam. So you can see that it's a quite substantial portion that is giving you a lot of knowledge about financial reporting in the modern latest environment. And of course, integrated reporting, which is Unit 6, is getting really important and essential, as the integrated reporting standards has already been formed and implemented, where we need to combine different reports. So maybe 20 years before, we used to see financial reports separate, inventory separate, or human resource efficiency separate. But now, after integrated reporting, we have to combine it into 6 to 8 areas, where we see the human efforts, supply chain, we see financial, non-financial, human resources. So this integrated reporting is really interesting and very high-end topic that any management would like to see in order to do the gap analysis and take effective decisions in general. Previously, obviously, when we say cost accountant or management accountant, so costing used to be 30% of the exam, but with new softwares, SAP, Oracle, the role of a cost accountant is advanced, and so the syllabus and content has already been updated in this way that you have 15% of the cost management. Cost is really important, and you know that in COVID-19 and such kind of scenarios where you feel that market is losing its capacity as a consumer. So consumers stop or reduce the buying. So you can't increase the sale on that particular timings. What you can do only is you can decrease the cost. You can study the cost. You can improvise it. You can see the new innovative ways how you can decrease the cost. So before that, you should understand what is a cost. So we see what is a fixed cost, variable cost, staff fixed cost. We see the contribution margin approach. We see the gross margin approach, and we see the throughput margin approach. This is an amazing area. I mean, it is one of the favorites of those CEOs and CFOs, director finance, because their core job is more about planning, strategy, and in terms of, and the costing is really important element in that. So we study that, what are the type of cost, how we accumulate in terms of method like job order costing, process costing, and activity-based costing, which is really advanced, which gives you a proper allocation of the cost. supply chain management. You can see that as a management accountant, you are going to study integrated reporting, which is going to give you a deep knowledge of other departments. So you are not only an accountant, you are a management accountant who is understanding the organization from 360-degree, and this is going to create an amazing skill in terms of leadership and capacity to guide the organization, lead the organization from the front. And of course, business improvement process, responsibility accounting, making strategic business units and responsibility centers, profit centers, investment centers. This is what latestly all multinationals has adopted. So reading them, getting updated and jump in the office environment is very, very linked because of the kind of content it offers. Planning, budgeting, and forecasting, it used to be 30%. 3 years before, it has been revised as 20%, but still it is one of the most important areas in terms of your exams and in terms of your practical life. Every middle or senior management is talking about operational budgets, master budget. You're talking about a budget for a project, budget for the organization, budget for the branch. So this all is really amazing. And in these three topics, you are going to discuss some kind of mathematical forecasting, because we can't say that the next year is very good, because very good is a very subjective term. So in that scenario, we need to quantify it. So we need some kind of modeling, financial modeling, mathematical modeling, statistical methods. We have to understand the correlations, regressions. We have to see the capital asset pricing models. We need to use alpha, beta, gamma, such kind of technical words which will give a comfort to the investor, reader, or the stakeholder of the financial statement that we have analyzed and projected, not only based on our feelings, but we did it on the basis of a very nice mathematical and non-mathematical, economic, social, technological, legal aspects we are covering in terms of budgeting. So budgeting is always a favorite for those people who have an ability to think broad, think large, out of the box, and bring something new. Obviously, either use a traditional method or a zero-based budgeting. So there are a lot of terminologies which will be a real update for you if you are going to take up this course. Performance management is really important for the management. Management need to get a performance, otherwise we will feel that they are a weak management. Management, when it comes, it's planning, organizing, directing, designing, implementing, evaluating. So performance is the first important criteria that we have to get out of our human resource and all the resources that we deploy in the organization. So variance report is a very typical report, which is actually the main interest of a CEO and the other top management. So you are preparing yourself to be at the top, and through budgets, of course, we get the budgeted figures, and when the actual results comes, we compare them, and we get the variance reports. So this is a very amazing area, which is 20% of the exam. So question related to variance analysis, sale variance, cost variance, material variance, price variance, efficiency variance, spending variance, overhead variance. These are really interesting and day-to-day and very, very dynamic in terms of unique solutions. Now the course will shift into internal controls because you are a management, so you need to make sure that you have an effective internal control system in your company. So it starts with Sarbanes-Oxley, which is 2002 Act in America, And as per all American laws, any American company go anywhere in the world, they need to comply with the American laws all the time. So it is really good that you get an American law knowledge in terms of corporate governance, so you can bring clarity, administration, operation, the structure in your organization. Some organizations don't have proper structure, they are listed. So what happens is after 3 to 4 years, you will see a bad news, and then you will notice that this company has closed. So that's to avoid all that kind of financial scandals. We study the corporate governance, which give you a code of conduct, code of governance, by creating a segregation between management, company, putting regulators on the top, assigning external auditor, pushing you to hire an internal auditor, and define the importance of a committee structure in the management. And of course, like setting up committees, which is mandatory, like audit committee. So it's really interesting, really insightful topics. We discuss FCPA, that is Financial Corrupt Practices Act. We study Sarbanes-Oxley Act. We study the internal auditing. We see that how it improved the organization in a very comprehensive way. And beauty of IMA is they are very, very adaptive. And you can see from this topic called technology, because technology is just recently added, because technology is changing every time. So we, as a management accountant, CEO, CFO, you can't live without knowing what is blockchain, what is IoT, what is privacy, what is blockchain, what is clouding computing, SARS, Bitcoins. These are the latest things, ERP, Enterprise Resource Plannings, MRPs, and couple of data management, data warehousing. These are the terms which used to be in the pocket of the IT department, but because IT is becoming known, technical, any layman can look into. So the role of our understanding to technology is increasing. So in terms of part one structure, you can see that it comprises on several topics. The beauty of the course is that it build up your knowledge in terms of different fields, and it upgrade your skills in terms of the latest knowledge. We have limited time. Of course, we can go as deep as we want, but we have to keep ourselves in a line. So I will move towards the part two. Part two is really, really purely a financial management ones. And we start with financial statement analysis. This is very important if you want to see the financial health. You want to see that company will last. Is it a going concern, or it is a best entity who is going to last at least 12 months? So financial ratios are really important to calculate. This is a basic, ratio is basic, but the usage is advanced. So we learn how to calculate, and the most important is how to utilize, how to use them, how to apply them in your organization. You can link it with yours, with your day-to-day practical work, because for example, if I'm acquiring a company, I'm merging a company, because merger and acquisition, which we called M&A, is getting trendy. People want to reduce the cost, they want to combine the income. So merger and acquisition age we are living in. Every month you see all over the world there are 10 to 12 listed companies getting together, making one entity, sometime a merger, sometime an amalgamation, sometime an acquisition. So whatever technical things we will discuss in contents. So liquidity, ability to see your short-term sustenance, solvency, are you able to sustain? Leverage, do you have debts which is exceeding more than 50%? So Are you making company at risk? These are very interesting ratios. Profitability ratio means how we are doing things in operations in terms of GP, in terms of NP, and of course share book value, market value, and these kind of things are really, really important. So in terms of corporate finance, of course, very interesting. We need to understand the financial instruments. What are those markets? Money market, hedge markets, financial markets of Europe, USA, UK, which is $1 billion markets. So you will be understanding the mechanism of discounting, calculating the cost of capital to raise money. Should you go for a debt financing? Should you go for the equity financing? These kind of things. How to manage your working capital? Very interesting topics. Decision analysis. Every business should know that what is the cost, what is the profit, which point they will come in no profit, no loss situation, which we call as break even, or you can see as a CVP analysis. Every project has risks, so we study the risk managements. Then we see the investment decisions should be very effective. It should not put your investor or your director's money on stake. And of course, no qualification can be comprehensive without professional ethics. IMA has a code of ethics which every member has to follow. So we need to be honest, we need to maintain integrity, fairness, we need to be rational, we should be objective. These all are core characteristics that we should have in ourselves to maintain the prestige of the organization. So this is an interesting oversight in terms of the topics. And of course, once you will jump into this curriculum, this course, you will start loving it more and more at every single minute. Let's talk about the study options. Before COVID even, we had online because we train globally. So physical location no matters now. If you're a qualified trainer, you're a qualified organization, you can train anywhere, but we do have classrooms, physical classrooms, which is once the lockdown situations will go, we'll start the classrooms again. We are very famous for one-to-one executive trainings where we pull a person and we solely focus on them, on their preparation and their personality developments. So we have on campus, so you can come to our campus and study. We have a fast track option. We finish one chapter in a day with some practice. So ideally in 20-25 days in a fast track, you are able to finish the first round of the study and then a couple of practices. So we make it faster as well. If you want, you have time, you're enthusiastic to appear in exams, one-to-one in-house, we come to your office. If you have a pool of people who don't want to travel, so Berkeley is going to send their trainer who is going to train at your place and making it easy for your staff to manage and avoid any kind of hassle traveling to our centers. Self-study online, live online is the most popular nowadays because everyone is scared from the COVID and they prefer to go online. And last 1.5 years, I guess online is getting really a habit and used to. I'm sure that once we come back to the live trainings again, there will be a strange feeling in the start. So this is like my last wrap-up of the day. So Berkeley can make your dream in terms of journey, in terms of CMA, very viable and achievable. You just need to manage some time. So Berkeley has a teaching methodology. Our study materials are the perfect one. It delivers a candidate an understanding. And of course, we create a learning environment which creates a very impactful influence on a candidate mind. We have more than 10,000 students, and we have a very, very matchless feedbacks after the training. During the trainings, we found them really, really learning and improving themselves and adding value in the organizations. Most of our corporate clients are from PwC, EY, KPMG, Deloitte, HSBC, Shell. So all, I mean, name any big company, we are serving them for the CMA and other courses. You can go through the website on berkeleyme.org and you can see hundred and thousand of videos that we have shooted last couple of years, explaining their experience with the Berkeley and with the program itself. With this, I want to thank you for this opportunity to share on this platform, and I'm looking forward to keep sharing these thoughts in the upcoming event. So I will move back to IMA for proceeding the program to the next level.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Musa. It was a really interesting presentation, and thank you for sharing all your insights in the CMA program, and also what people can expect when they start studying at Berkeley. Really great.